Hey everybody, welcome back to Shock and Schlock. It's day 15 of my 31 days of horror reviews. Obviously, don't have another disc again. I'm doing a lot of these. But this one is a little bit harder to find, but I will say that before I start anything, that this film is easy to find if you Google it and type in effed up movies. That's EFFED. Yeah, movies. Um, After that, um, and I encourage you to maybe do that because this movie's in dead format, so yeah, no official DVD release or anything. It all exists as bootlegs. No streaming unless you go to what I said. But of course, the film that I'm talking about is the 1999 film Muzan aka Celluloid Nightmares, a film directed and written by Daisuke Yamanuchi. It's a mix of a Pinku, found footage, mockumentary, horror, mystery, lots of genres of film. And it follows this female reporter who's researching underground fetish films where she stumbles upon a particular adult video actress that was very popular and rising up and supposedly murdered. And there was a snuff tape produced. And of course, she investigates this, and it's shot like in a mockumentary style with her doing like news reports and all this stuff, and then sort of like her documenting of this. Um, and of course, this causes the filmmakers of the other film to take action against her. Now, this is a film that I had heard about for a long time. It was one that I just never checked out. Um, I'm not super well versed on Pinku cinema, um, and this was one of the places that I wanted to start, but I just never really. It was just always in the back burner, which is unfortunate because after watching this, I really enjoyed this film a lot. I thought this was going to be something more in line with like Tumbling Doll Flesh or Women's Flesh in My Red Guts, but it's not. It's its own thing. It's story driven and well acted, well directed. I mean, this came out just after the Blair Witch Project, so it was like before the real boom of found footage movies, and I know there was ones previous even to these, but before it became more of a widespread thing, this was released. Um, Things that I really enjoyed about this were the story. This was a movie that I expected to be like, the plot to be very simple, or just to be like violence or like exploitation based, and that's the reason that it's so well regarded, I suppose. But it actually was a well done, well written film. Um, it's paced well. The mystery of what happened to the woman, despite you thinking you know what's going to happen, you don't know what happens because there's a twist towards the end that completely changes the context of the entire film. Um, and I'm not going to spoil that, but it is really good. It's well done. It surprised me. I truly didn't expect it. Um, and usually I can guess these twist endings, like, oh, there's going to be something that happens. But this one was one that I didn't because I thought it was going to be more straightforward. But it was not. You will not be able to um, guess it, I'm sure. You'd have to be like Sherlock Holmes to understand the twist ending before it happens. It's very good. The acting is really well done as well. The lead actress does a great job. The mockumentary style is something that I feel like can be messed up very easily. And if the acting is not believable, it's definitely noticeable. Like, it really takes you out of that experience. In this case, the acting is good. She really is essentially one of the people that one of the few people in the film that has more than like a couple of minutes of screen time. So she does a really good job, and the interviews that she does with these adult video people. The actors do a good job in that too. It's all very realistic, very believable. They talk and act like you would expect people to act. It's not over the top. They're not like caricatures, which I sort of expected. Like a lot of the time, there's films that are involving the adult film industry, and they're fictional. Um, they are they sort of like make the characters caricatures of people, so they're like very cartoonish and over the top. And they don't feel real. In this, they're people that are just in this, and they're all just as confused as the lead, and it's really good. Um, and the gore, when it's there, is very well done. It's not over the top. It's pretty realistic looking, but it's not overused. This is definitely not a gore movie. It's compared to the few other Pinku films that I've seen, like of that genre. I'm not trying to generalize or anything. Um, this is pretty tame, I would say. The fetish content that's shown, like that she's investigating the lead character, is gross, I guess. And it's meant to be that way or shocking. But it is what it is. I've seen worse real stuff, and you guys probably have as well if you've been watching the channel. Um, Obviously, I never show it, but if you watch anything from this, it's yeah. But yeah, it's never really that over the top or exploitative or anything. And I don't believe it's unsimulated either. I believe it's just acting and special effects, so it's not anything too crazy. Yeah, it's just a really well done found footage mockumentary film that I thoroughly enjoyed. I have no drawbacks to this. I can recommend this to a much wider audience than I expected as well. This isn't as extreme as expected. That's not a good or bad thing. It's a good thing in the way that I can say, like, I can recommend this easier. I'll say that. This is not like a film like Melancholy Triangle or something like that, where it's like, it's so extreme that it's hard to recommend to a wide audience. But this one I can. If you're a found footage fan, if you're a Pinku Cinema fan, if you're a faux snuff fan, definitely give it a go. Even if you're more of like, if you're watching this and, totally understandable if you're watching my channel and you're more into mainstream horror films, but you just kind of want to hear them because you're interested. You don't want to watch them yourselves. This one I actually do recommend you watch yourself. It's really good. I would say, like, Terrifier 2 is in theaters right now. That movie is far more violent and disturbing than this, and that's in widespread theaters. This is an example. So, yeah, recommend it if you can track it down on DVD. Highly recommend doing that. Otherwise, it's on F'd Up Movies. Not going to link that. I don't want to risk anything, but, just type it in, like I said. It's on there. And it's not a film that's widely available. I think it's stuck in dead format. It never had an official release outside of Japan. So if you're in the United States or elsewhere, probably never got an official release. I know Twisted Anger did a bootleg of it, but they're out of business, obviously. But if you need help finding it still, even after doing that, just hit me up on Instagram and I'll help you out, because you should watch this. It's much better than expected. It's one of my favorite films I've seen this month thus far. So, yeah, definitely check it out. Highly recommended. That's it for today, though. I'm going to be coming back tomorrow with another review. Still working on the disturbing movie Iceberg video. There's a couple of things that I'm working on. I wanted to really understand what I'm talking about, so I'm watching more of the content there. Especially that second to last tier with the fetish films. That's something I'm personally interested in, obviously, because I've reviewed them. But there's a couple there that I haven't seen, so I'm going through those so I can give a more accurate description of what happens. Everything on the bottom tier, I am pretty well knowledgeable about, so this can be a couple more days and I'll have that up. I do have my own chart already made, but I don't want to put that out there without doing the initial video first. So, yeah, keep an eye out for those. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to be doing a review of Begotten. I've been wanting to for a while, and I watched it again just yesterday. So, I've got some thoughts on it, and I want to do a review. I think it fits well with 31 Days of Horror, and it's on YouTube in full. So if you guys want to watch it before I review it, and you see what I'm talking about, it's right there. Yeah, full thing is free on YouTube, which is crazy, but yeah. As always, though, I'm your host, Herschel Gillis, signing off for today. Zero thoughts, zero editing, zero planning, and zero brain cells. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and keep your notifications on. Thanks, everybody.